This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Thursday, May 11th, 2023. I'm Alex Brown. Community Health Network, which lost $161 million last year on operations and investments, plans to cut an unspecified number of jobs. The Indianapolis-based health system said it was taking the step in the face of shrinking reimbursements, the rising cost of labor and supplies, and a new state law pressuring large hospitals to lower prices. A monthly survey from Purdue University shows the level of food insecurity in the U.S. is keeping steady around 14%. Professor Jason Lusk said the April Consumer Food Insights report also said total food spending is up 7% from this time last year, which is a reflection of higher food prices.
Indeed, our consumers say they're paying higher prices than they were last year, but that rate of increase has been falling over the past several months. So even though consumers say they're paying more, they're not paying quite as much as they were in previous months.
He said food insecure households are much more likely to be concerned about affordability and price when they buy food. The owner of the Auburn Garrett Drive-In in DeKalb County is planning to reopen the popular attraction this summer after its screen was damaged by a powerful storm last August. Julie Yard told our partners at WPTA TV she is working with local businesses to tear down the damaged screen and replace it. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana, it's time to get revved up. Inside Indiana Business is going racing. We'll be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the month of May and take you inside the business of motorsports, from gasoline alley to high-tech race shops to small-town dirt tracks. We'll explore what fuels a billion-dollar industry in the state. Join the entire Inside Indiana Business team from the world's greatest race course for Business at the Brickyard, brought to you by Purdue University. It's checkered flag coverage you won't want to miss.
Multiple state offices are on the clock to put in motion statewide career-centered education and training programs that seek to graduate Hoosier students who are better prepared for the workforce.
The House and Senate compromised in the final hours of the legislative session on a massive Republican-backed plan that, at its core, seeks to expand work-based learning in Indiana high schools, like through apprenticeships and internships. Paramount to the 85-page House Bill 1002 is a provision that would establish accounts for students in grades 10 through 12 to pay for career training outside their schools. The new framework is intended to enable students to earn a post-secondary credential before leaving the K-12 system. So far, lawmakers have approved more than $20 million for the plan, although Indiana schools and various state agencies are expected to spend even more to get the program started and to keep them running. Republican legislators said they were adamant in the 2023 session to reinvent Hoosier high school curriculum as the state tries to reverse its dismal college-going and credentialing rates, stymie other academic impacts following the COVID-19 pandemic, and help fill open jobs around the state. While Democrats agreed that Hoosier students need more training, those in the minority were largely opposed to the bill. They questioned its effectiveness for students and cited concerns about oversight, especially regarding intermediaries that will be entitled to state dollars for helping connect students with employers and training opportunities. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Richmond Mayor Dave Snow provided an update today on efforts to clean up the site of a massive industrial fire that forced many residents from their homes last month. Snow said city, state, and federal officials are collaborating to not only remove materials at or near the site, but also remediate any environmental concerns. On Monday, the EPA will begin the process of identifying the materials and debris. A plan to safely remove and dispose of the materials will then be developed, and once they are removed, follow-up environmental testing will be conducted. Warsaw-based OrthoWorks CEO Bob Vito says a $30 million appropriation from the state's new 2-year budget has created excitement within the state's orthopedic industry. The funding was provided to the not-for-profit in support of efforts to attract and retain talent in the orthopedic capital of the world in Kosciuszko County.
What this $30 million is going to afford us the opportunity to do is really focus our efforts on how do we continue to attract the next generation of employees and team members into these orthopedic companies, and at the same time help us retain those that we do have, both the team members, employees, but also the companies that are represented here. As you can imagine, there are a lot of people, or a lot of communities that would love to have what we have, and so this is our our opportunity to really, again, further invest in this community.
In 2022, the Northeast Indiana Regional Partnership estimated the orthopedic industry accounts for more than 22,000 jobs in the region and approximately $19 billion in revenue. The Cleveland Metropolitan School District has tapped Warren Morgan, Chief Academic Officer for Indianapolis Public Schools, to lead its district of roughly 36,000 students next school year. The announcement in a press conference on Tuesday means IPS will need to find a new leader to manage issues such as graduation, state test results, and curriculum. Morgan joined IPS in 2020 and has overseen the district's attempts to help students rebound from learning loss during the pandemic. He spent 2 years in the Cleveland district as an academic superintendent from 2014 to 2016. He'll begin his new role in July. Indianapolis restaurateur Tom Batista is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.